Welcome back. David Hertel in for Elias. So we've been following the story ever since it broke, and in an update to the day the petition was launched, a delegation of Dawson College students went to the National Assembly yesterday to present their petition asking for $100 million in funding to be restored. Joining us again, we spoke to her earlier this week, is Alexandrah Cardona, Dawson Student Union President. Welcome back, Alexandrah.
Thank you so much.
So, tell us, you went to Quebec City, you went to my old stomping grounds, the National Assembly. What happened?
Well, firstly, we were very honored and humbled to be able to attend the National Assembly for the presentation of the petition. We were extremely pleased. Thankfully, the Parti Libéral were very, very, very supportive. Mm-hmm. And so we had a standing ovation at the presentation of the petition in the Assembly yesterday. We were just below the 20,000 signature goal that the union had set. So we were absolutely ecstatic about that.
Very much below, just a few signatures away, right? It was like... What was the final tally?
Well, the National Assembly petitions ensured to do verification checks. We had received initially over 20,000 signatures, but after the verification checks, we were just 200 under. So very close.
Let's just say you made it.
We think so, too.
Yeah. Okay. So congratulations on that. So I think it was Westmount Liberal M&A, Jennifer Macaron, who presented officially the petition at the National Assembly. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And who was standing up? I mean, was it just the Liberal M&As or was anybody else standing up? Did you notice?
Certainly the opposition party were in our line of vision. I may have to rewatch the live stream to see other reactions.
But the other opposition parties were standing as well?
We didn't have explicit support from Québec solidaire or Parti québécois. However, we were, our intention to visit the National Assembly was really to send the message that Dawson students are Quebecers.
Sure.
And it wasn't so much to make a partisan message. It was to say that we're here, in effect, to speak to all parties representing the diversity in the breadth of Dawson students.
So did you get to meet, other than with the Liberals, did you meet any other M&As from either the government side or the other opposition parties?
We did not meet in private with any M&As from outside of Montreal or who were not with the Parti Libéral. However, we understood that perhaps François Legault would not embrace us with open arms at the National Assembly. So going forward, our approach will be to continue to bridge that gap with the Francophone community and indeed the other political parties.
Speaking with Dawson Student Union President Alexandrah Cardona. So, Alexandrah, after Jennifer Macaron presented the petition officially at the National Assembly, what happened? What did you did a press conference with Liberal leader Dominique Anglade? Is that right?
That's also correct, yes.
And what happened there?
So there was a fantastic presentation by both Jennifer and Dominique Anglade. My colleague as well, Vice President Arwen Lowe, presented a very passionate speech that was drafted in hopes of again, showing the province that we are Quebecers as well. We really wanted to engage, show our bilingualism, and engage on that provincial level. We want to show that we are not a closed-off, isolated Anglophone hive mind downtown Montreal. So that was the press conference in that sense was fantastic.
Yeah, and it did convey that message. And I'm wondering, I'm curious, during the press conference, was there a lot of interest from the French media? Did you get a lot of questions from the French media?
Unfortunately, no. And that was our intention. We really wanted to, we were prepared to make full speeches or the full press conference in French. We were prepared to speak with French media and frankly to address their genuine concerns. Some of the Francophone media and some of maybe the other who are maybe more partisan to other parties, they may very well have genuine concerns, but if they don't accept our requests for meetings, they don't come to the press conferences, they don't speak with us, those concerns cannot be addressed and we cannot unpack the situation together. I think the DSU has solutions. Dawson students are innovative. As we said at the press conference, we're the future of this province. This pavilion in specific is about medical programs, science programs. So Dawson students are, culturally sensitive. They're intelligent and ambitious, and so we represent the very best that Quebec youth have to offer, and we really want to show that across the province.
I think that's a great message, but I really think that your best angle, if I may, is the whole healthcare angle. Could you? I know you've described this before, but I think it's important to talk about that as well, because this is a project. This Dawson College project is also about contributing to a dire need for personnel in the healthcare system. So if you could talk about that a bit more, I think that's really important as well.
Absolutely. I mean, you're completely right. We have known throughout this pandemic, there's been this shortage in the healthcare industry. It has put a huge strain on our society. And in some ways, we see the government of Quebec, like many governments across the world, put forward initiatives to try to protect the healthcare system. And this contradicts that. So we're talking about 7 technical medical programs, and we're talking about a public health clinic that could have been open to serve thousands of patients in downtown Montreal every year. So looking from that angle, it unfortunately, with the exacerbation of the lack of space with the pandemic, with the lack of options for students to practice in-house internships in preparing for their roles. And once they leave Dawson, they, of course, then go on to work sometimes in the French sector, and they sometimes leave Montreal. So those internships in-house are extremely important. It really cannot be overstated that these are necessary, very much necessary positions, and not for tomorrow, not for 7 years from now, but yesterday. We really need those graduates in the workforce yesterday.
Absolutely. So what are the next steps?
Our next steps are effectively, because we have not received any response from the CAQ government or François Legault since yesterday, other than some murmurs from the Minister of Higher Ed about working with us to rent more space, which has consistently been what they said since January. We obviously reject that being a solution. Sure. Since François Legault has not agreed to meet with us, we will go to him. And if it doesn't, not the National Assembly this time, but likely that means we'll be going to his office sometime soon.
Well, Alexandrah, all I can say is keep up the good fight. You're doing a wonderful job, and hope you keep up the good work and come back and update us as soon as you have further developments.
Thank you so much.
Alexandrah Cardona is Dawson Student Union president.